Good evening, everyone. This is Wednesday, our normal weekly broadcast. I am Korak. I am joined by Nathaniel. Nathaniel, how you doing?
Doing well. We've got some C1 matches to start us off. Hanchan between Jackson, Tyler, Sky, and subbing for Justin today is going to be Brett.
So I don't know too much about these players, but we're gonna have C1 action from the start. I was talking to some of the people about Skyle earlier, trying to play a little more tight style than would either live or on ladder. See if that's been working out. Do we have the overall standings? Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah, Jackson doing well right now in 6th place overall. That is a promotion slot.
Tyler in 7th, so those are the two to watch for sure.
Absolutely. These guys have been having a decent season. Memorably, in one of the early games, I think the 4th game of the season, had been sitting in 4th place with over 40,000 points, and someone summoned a Daisangan, Rinshan Daisangan, for a Yakuman to Gakten first place from 4th. So could
Well,
be
I
sitting in
mean,
an even higher spot here, but if not for that hand.
when you say Rin Shundai Saga, that does tend to imply Yakuman. But yeah, Sky's sitting at plus 40 anyway after 8 games. So we're going to just take a look at this and should be starting any second now. Of course, the 40 after could be anywhere between 40 and 41 and should be in a couple seconds now.
Right, yeah, we've seen Jackson with the early 8 games, 32.9% win percent. Seems to be charging full force with an open hand playstyle.
Well, we start here off with, do you just go Daisangan? That seems to be the play. Maybe hedging Honitsu, but I think you just go for it.
A Kokushi chance for Tyler, perhaps? We'll see.
Haku pair, 2 door. I think you just call and go. Across the way, Chun pair. There's going to be the call. The question is you get Grieve Ronitsu, and he enters probably not. Just take the 1,000, 2,000. Try and move on. And
Left hand side, probably just a Riichi Pinfu. Especially after drawing 4 mon, would be really nice to grab that tile.
yeah, 4 pin would also be a nice fill, getting that 2, 3, 5, 6 pin filled. Dealer, though, the most interesting one, just going for this Kokushi.
Yeah, 4 discards in, and it's feeling so desperate. Yeah, maybe switching
And
out.
just gives up on it. Says, no, this isn't happening. The question is, what's the backup plan here? And now you draw that, and you're actually a little sad. But just didn't want to have to push this 5-7-7 into the called hand, probably.
Yeah, maybe Chitoi?
I think it's just a fold, honestly.
Yeah, Chitoi was a great
Interesting.
hands.
I would achieve that 7. That fixes your shapes reasonably well. But on the other hand, that's Chitoi Ishan for Brett. Definitely a fan of Chitoitsu, although that 9 pin's pretty bad. I'd expect that to come out if he's just selling out of the Chitoi.
Yeah, good point. Ooh, draw some
Oh, well, what
Anko.
about Suanko? That sounds a lot more fun.
8-so in the wall. That is the door, of course.
And just goes ahead and pawns. We'll go Toy here. Needs the 6-mon, 8-so, and Haku. Ishanten. But we have Tempai on the left for Riichi Pinfu on 1-4 pin. Oh, and there's one of those 4s, but we'll instead just get around it with the 8, which is safe for now.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if Sky ends up needing to shove against this hand, because there's not a whole lot that's safe here.
But even here, like, what do you do? Just throw the 6 and say, I don't care, we just shove? Because it looks awful with the 8-5.
Yeah,
8-mon, 5-mon.
I suspect Sky's going to just shove the 6-mon in the future anyway, not willing to toss the 6-so. Nakasuji, that's the only real safe tile in the hand.
There's pulling for Tempai. Oh, no. We might see a big deal in here if this Haku comes out.
Yeah, all of a sudden Sky has a more pressing concern than the Riichi. Dora 3. Looks like Tanya Dora 3. It's actually worse. With Toy, and of course, Tyler holding the Haku here. Probably has a lot more safe
for
tiles.
A pair, you figure, oh, it's probably fine. The only thing have is the last 2 in the wall. But make it big. Well, it doesn't matter now. That always is. You always throw that. Riichi Pinfu. We'll see if there are any aura. No aura. We'll get to 2,000, though, and that'll be the quick early lead for Jackson.
Yeah,
Brett dealing in will be dealer, though, with a very nice starting hand with the double East pair. Could just go Honitsu with this. I think you just go for it. Easy Mungon, or at least relatively easy. On the right, kind of a pin. Well, not even Pinfu now. Probably Richinomi. Maybe you need Peiko and Mon across the way. Chun pair your Dreaming Dice Song again, but it doesn't look very likely. And on the left, pretty standard Pinfu hand. Maybe a Tanya. Maybe some Sanjiku shifting later. 3-4-5 or 2-3-4, but it's not there yet. Maybe even just call this down for Tanya.
Yeah, seems likely. Although for Brett, notably cutting the honor tiles early and then the 7-so, so not 100% committing to the Honitsu just yet. Um, we'll see. It feels like there's a very straightforward path to that hand, though. And just waiting to see if he calls one of these honor tiles. East still in the
Yeah, I definitely
wall.
would have started with the 1-2 pin. The 6 is a decent float. The rest of this hand just isn't good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you draw the 3-pin, your Ricci is kind of
It'd be a
okay.
great Ricci, but I'd call this. I'd 100% call that West. Take the Shanten, easy, relatively easy call on the East, and they're just waiting to 4-7 for Mongon.
The hand of the left still looks like it's the closest to competing with Brett's hand, but
That's Tempai on the right for Richinomi on 1-4-so.
oh, another 4-so drawn. That doesn't really help Tyler. He does not want to drop the door indicator.
And Brett's just going to use this 1-2 as safety, try and mosh into something better.
Brett also with a tile near the door that doesn't really want to come out. At least these pin tiles are relatively safe for Tyler.
When I asked to make a decision he's going to push, the answer is not yet anyway.
Tyler back to Ishanten with potential Ipeko in the Sozu. Of course, the 3-so not live in the wall.
Yeah, 2 of them held across, 1 on the right and 1 in that hand already on the left. Well, you just cheat, I think. I'd absolutely take this. The problem is there's only 1 4-pin left.
Yeah, but chances are if we draw something bad, we'll just cut away from the 2-3 pin anyway and rebuild the hand.
Right, if you just draw like 5-so, you may take it. Well, speak of, you could just throw the 2-so and try and hedge it, and that's going to be the play here. Given you have the 1-so for E10, the 2-so is not a particularly good tile to have in your hand. But on the other hand, it's also Dora Suit, so you don't want to push it. But there's Tempai across the way. This is Ricci Dora 1, 6-9-so for E10.
2d10, very interesting.
Oh,
Yet
this is going to throw out. It's going to be safe. This is going to Dama this. I do not like this Dama whatsoever. There is no reason to Dama this. Oh, wait, I misread that hand. That wasn't Tempai. That explains a lot then.
that does makes a reasonable Dama then. This one pin will not deal in.
Nadayaku is the hand on the left. It's Atazuke.
Oh, East is Shompai. Is Tyler off of
East
this?
is live. Might get rid of this. And yeah, throws the 3. The Suji 3. And Gembutsu there on the right. And there's the 1-so Sumo. Ricci Sumo on the right.
Back to back monster hands for Brett that get cut short by a 2-hon hand.
And it's going to be a quick little win there with the Reach 6 as well for Sky. We'll jump into first place. We'll be dealer here in East 3. Kind of a Pinfu hand, but an ugly one. I honestly just want to go Juncho when I see this stuff. Ugh, even more so after that draw. 1, 2, 8, 9, 9, 1 through 3, 4, 7, 9, and 7. Just Junchon Sonj is the only way you're getting value out of that hand. Well, maybe Itsu if that 5-pin draw. On the right, Pinfu type hand, also a floating Hatsudora. Across the way, maybe Honitsu cheat toy, but throws the door right away. I don't like that at all. I definitely got the 2-4-pin and make our decision from there, or even the 9-so.
Yeah,
And on
Chitoi's
the left, a few pairs, but feels more Tanyash than anything else.
since Chito is an option, I think for Toyman, I definitely want to try to hold the door a little bit longer. But Tyler just holding for pure efficiency, just grabbing all the blocks. Even Honitsu as an option if you get door pair and start calling down the Mon tiles. Honitsu Dora 2 is going to be a Mongon also.
Ishanten for Brett, we'll just go for a Tanya Nami.
He's like, you know what? These Mongon hands that I've been building haven't been winning, so let's just play the way the table's playing. Cheap and quick.
And interestingly, that Chi would have caused the Hatsu to have been drawn across the way, but of course that was interrupted. Is that a very wide Ishanten? But if you get it, do you even take it? But we do have
Ooh.
Tempai. Oh, is this Tempai? Do you like the... Oh, I would reach
2-3-6.
3-pin.
Oh, we're waiting on the south. Interesting. I like the 236 way just because it's so wide as dealer,
It
but
is very wide, but it's not much value. I just think the South just always comes out. But we have, oh, the Tuso is paired up now on the right.
and that means Brett might not be winning this hand so easily.
We'll need the 3-mon, and that's also being used by the hand on the right. But Ishan 10 there, and could upgrade it now if you got the 7 pin. We'll cut the 7 so, losing a bit of efficiency here, but hedging towards 678 Sanshku. The problem is, if you hedge for the 678 Sanshku, then probably that 2-2 comes out, and that will deal in.
Yeah, agreed. And Sky still holding the Ishanten, or sorry, the Tempa here, no Ricci.
Oh, Ishanten for Suanko.
Oh my. Do you think if Sky wins or draws the
Uh-oh,
two
I
pin or
think
six
this
pin,
deal's
it's a
in. No, gets
dodges?
away from it. There's Suanko Tempai.
Oh my. 9 so, 2
2-mon
mon.
and 9 so, one of each left in the wall.
That's great. That's very live.
6 is not deal in. There is no Yaku here since there was not a Ricci.
I will hold the Dama.
Oh, see, that was it. Wait on that South. The non-Tonki Brigade. Where's the 9 and where's the last 3? Those are the questions
This is
now.
a perfect Steve moment. Non-Tonki versus Suanko Oyakaburi. 1-3 mon. Where is the 2 mon? We want to see it.
Close. Oh, could even reach you this now that you have possibly Peiko, but I don't see a reason to. Could also throw the 1 and Dom. We'll throw the 3, figuring.
Oh, there's the 2, and
Don't.
Brett will deal in.
You
With not
have to
enough.
take that. It is only the
Yeah, just a manga. Not enough tiles to draw. So,
one tile off, one draw off from the Suanko that would definitely have blown this game wide open. Instead,
absolutely.
Brett definitely on the bad end of some of these, sitting at 19,000 now. We're at East 4. Dealer has a Dora and probably a Tanya hand. On the right, nice little Anko with a 4-pin. The rest of the hand isn't great, though, but it looks like Rishinomi, maybe a Tanya later. Across the way, Pinfu hand, nothing special, 1-3-5 so, or 6-0's Dora. On the left, though, we have a few pairs, 4 of even, including a Dora pair.
Love door.
Well,
Oh.
take that back. 5 of them, including a Dora pair. So if you just want to go Cheeto, you cut 5-mon or 5-pin, and we'll kind of hedge both options at this point.
Yeah, these shapes seem good enough that you can justifiably call for an open hand.
Well, we're about to see. It doesn't take the 6-pin. I think the only tile I'd really necessarily calls the north itself. Even the 8 so isn't great here.
Right. Well, because the north is once cut, it is a little bit harder to find
You'd
that last
have to take
copy.
it unless you're just selling on a Cheeto. Passing on the last north will just be its Cheetoy.
Right.
And similarly, I wonder about that 8-pin discard. I think I prefer the 5-pin, but okay. Well, now I have 3 Dora. Yeah, just the 1-3-5. You can go Toy Toy. If you back into it, then sure.
Right. And now the
Into
north
the
calls
Cheetoy, you take it.
excellent.
Yeah, now you absolutely call North.
Of
Oh, and
course.
there's the backfire.
Always
And you
seems to
see the
happen.
hesitation and says, okay, no, that was a sign. Moves this hand actually back on everything. I don't like that 6-pin cut at all. Because even if you draw the 4, you're still 4-10. Not that 4 anyway.
Well, that's a door connector for Jackson. Now 2 away from Tempai.
Just trying to get rid of that 5 while he has a chance, and sure enough, it's drawn on the right. Now Ishan 10 for Tanya Ipeko. Could actually pawn this. It seems weird, but pawn
Come.
is not a bad play here. I don't. Oh, Khan? Okay, just draw the 2-mon then.
Yeah, con for the draw works perfectly.
Ishan 10 now. Possible Toy Toy upgrades as well.
Yeah, 1 mon has
Could
been.
Chi cut 9? I think I would have Chi'd that and cut 9-9.
Hmm.
Oh,
Nine-one.
and this 2-so is a problem, because now this 4-5 only has the 3, because you conned the other side.
Yeah, do you prefer the Shabo for that reason?
I figure the 8 will just 100% comes out when it's drawn, so I think it's fine. I don't think the 4-5 does anything for this hand, really. It's probably a shift towards Dreaming Chinitsu, but it's just too late for that to be.
Yeah, and here's the 8 mod.
And here we're going to see if that 8 does come out. Brett may just give up, and Brett may just be going cheat to it, but no, he seems to be basically giving up now.
Yeah, Brett will be 100% back in the hand if he draws 4-so, 5-so, though.
No, he just wants a Tanya shift. You have to cheat this. You're out of time.
Yeah,
I think you have to take that.
believe in the
Yeah,
pay.
9-9.
It's coming.
You do not want to cut the 7 because dealer can use it. Oh, well, dealer absolutely cheesed that one. That's a gift. Now 2-3 mon left in the wall that dealer can win on for Tanya Dora. With extra food because of the con and the Yonko. Second con, we have some conning for flow going on here.
South Nudora, not relevant to any of these hands.
Yeah, even that 4 feels really bad, but yeah, we'll throw. Oh
Oh
no!
my. Should we Tonki in hopes
Actually,
for
this is great. Cut
Sankatsu?
the 4. The 5 feels so much better, or the 5. There is one 4 cut, so the 5 weight is normal.
All right, Brett, cut the 8
And
mon. Cut the
on
8
the
mon,
right
Brett.
says, okay, that's enough. Ricci, Tanya, Ipeco on Sanzo. There is 0 left in the wall. This would be Tempai with Ariyaku, will not be taken.
Oh, the pay
And
finally drawn.
there's the pay you were looking for.
It was on the wall. It's very, very late.
Could have won that hand if would have just stuck with it, but didn't want to push into this Ricci, which with 3 door indicators is somewhat understandable. Will be 2 players Tempai here.
What a shame. I was really hoping Brett would cut the Kabed off 8 mon, even though it's Shonpai. So we could see the Sankatsu chance.
Yeah, Jackson and Tyler get 1,500 points, but only in out of 500 on the right. Dealer here has probably a Tanya hand, but also a floating 9-so Dora. Probably looking to just pair up the East and try and call, but that's going to happen because the others are elsewhere on the right. Ooh, what do we do with that hand? It's one where you kind of want to hedge Honitsu, just give so many worthless honors. But what else do you do with it?
Yeah, I kind of just want to play it
Throws the
normally.
Dora first turn, immediate punish.
Because the shapes we have aren't that bad, despite having so many of these honor tiles. I just want to cut the honor tiles and work towards a Peifu.
Yeah, that's probably how I'd have played it as well. Across the way, South Onko, but that's not a Yakuhai. Probably going to play for the Ricci. Would be Ricci Nomi most likely. There is a Toy Turret eventually. But if you draw that 6 pin, it feels a lot less likely if you're now Yishunten for just Ricci, possible upgrades to Sun Onko. On the left, probably a Tanya hand, but you have a Dora there. You're dreaming Itsu, but it just feels a long way away.
Yeah, right now, Sky really the only player that can easily use that door. Just needs to find a 7-so.
Now, Jackson goes ahead and calls the 3-mon. We'll be open here looking for that Haku that has been held back for a bit.
Yeah, kind of
Tyler doesn't want to give it up. Definitely fishing for something here.
par for the course for
Oh,
Jackson.
and there's our Chi. And with the 7-8-9, this could be a play for Itsu. You're dreaming Chinitsu, but that doesn't look realistic. There is an Itsu if you draw 1-so or 2-so, though.
Yeah, still hedging the Yakuhai pair up and triplet call. The
Now,
Chinitsu
there's
and
the
Itsu.
Haku. Dealer now has a Yaku and Ishunten. Headless with 2 otters. You say headless Ishunten, that's usually not the shape you're aiming for. In fact, that's the worst possible shape you could have.
I mean, if you can pull in 4-so, it's not so bad, but...
Right.
Or just
just draw yourself. Easy game.
The Jackson
And the thing
knows.
is, either one of these will absolutely come out from Sky. This is so filthy.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter which one you choose here, but I also would pick the Hatsu. Because it just
On the
wins.
other hand, I kind of like holding that 9-so for Doratanki, but we have our Ricci across the way. It is 1-4-mon for Ricci Nomi for Brett. And you're like, I don't care. I'm just shoving. What am I going to do with this?
Yeah, it's a lot less difficult.
Con for flow? Con!
Adds 1 door to his hand. Also 1 door to Brett's hand, and Brett will find the Tsumo.
And there's the Sumo. We'll see if that con really hurts or just kind of hurts. Ricci, Sumo, Dora 2. No aura, but does get bred up to a Mungon. And that definitely takes the load off his back, as he's still in fourth technically, but within 1100, which is much better than where he was.
Yeah, you keep swinging. Eventually, you'll hit one of them.
All right, Tyler's dealer here has a Hatsu pair, floating door, a whole bunch of tiles in Sozu. May go Honitsu, maybe just kind of hedge the door for now. On the right, Brett has called the double south, and that's going to be all that hand's worth, unless there's some major shifting going on. Across the way, kind of a Pinfu hand, but definitely needs a 7-pin, and the shapes just aren't great overall. And on the left, Ricci Pinfu, Tanyao, maybe Peiko. That's a really nice starting hand. You have so many of those nice overlapping shapes. 3, 4, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, and even the 6, 8, 8's nice.
Yeah, definitely
Well,
the Spice's closed hand, but with a second Yakuhai call, Brett now showing 300 the rest of the table. Very scary.
and interestingly, we saw a Hatsu come out from Sky. It was not called by dealer here.
Interesting.
Probably going towards Chitoi. And this is what, Tushan? You'll need, yeah, Ishan 10 for Chitoi.
You know, I've seen a couple of games from Tyler. I don't recall whether or not.
Oh no, I misread this. It was 4 pairs. It's Ryan Shunton. Yeah, this is a long way off. I don't like that pass.
Mm. I was gonna say I don't know if Tyler is the type of player who tends to pass the first Yakuhai call in almost all situations, just as a playstyle thing.
Now, speaking of inefficient cuts there on the left, could have kept the floating 6. Would have a much better shape. Instead, holding this 8 so, which I don't think does anything for this hand.
Yeah, it's hard to use that when you already have the 5, so it sort of accepts the same tiles.
Brett going to go ahead and cut away from the 4, 6. Take a different side of shape of headless. It feels like he's just going Hadaka Tonki is the plan with this hand.
It
If you
really
cut from the
does.
4, 6. Oh, and punished immediately, of course. You could call that for Tempai. You just wish you have so much more value here. We'll pass it. Well, there's Tempai, and waiting on the Nakatsuji Forso, although feels like it's going to come out from dealer here.
Or
Oh, unless you draw the 3 so. Could switch to the Shaw here.
it looks like dealer's very suspicious of this Haku. Doesn't going so far as to throw the 8 so pair first.
Well, it could even be Honitsu here. Like,
right.
that is a scary board. Oh, pick the wrong Tonki there. Brett was on that 8 and just not going there anymore. Got pwned, of course, on the left.
Yeah, Jackson saying, I can't let this hand win. Even if it's just for 1,000 points, I'll take this time.
Con! There's our con. Ooh, 7's actually not a bad weight. Oh, it just came out twice. So yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't think this Chi speeds this hand up, but it will be taken anyway. Chi almost have to just cut the 5-5 anyway, because you can't cut the 4. I think that was the plan here with Chi cut 4, but that's Kuikai. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, switching
Meanwhile,
to...
Tempai on the left for Tanya Dora 1 waiting on 4, 7 so. And the 7 pin looks really bad. And we'll just fold off of it. Why does the 3 come out?
Yeah,
I think that may have been a misclick.
Quite possibly. If you're folding on a pin tile, you generally aren't going to drop another pin tile.
Especially one right by Dora.
But that 3-pin comes out from Brett and gives Tempai to Sky on the 5-8
well, there's a 5. That may just come right out. There it goes. Tanya, Dora 1. We'll get 2,000. Let's put Sky back over to 30,000 and move to South 2.
So Brett's had 4 monster Tempais and has won one of them.
All right, Brett with a bunch of pairs here, 4 of them. Also the callable Hatsu. We'll see if he goes Chitoi, Toy, or even regular hand. On the right, Haku pair. Not too much else aside from, those 2 Dora. The 1 mon always inconspicuous until you see that the 9 mon is a Dora indicator. Across the way, kind of a Pinfu hand. Shapes are bad, though. You have a nice 4, 5, 6, 8 in so, but everything else is just messy floaters. On the left, Riichi Pinfu type shape, maybe a 6/7/8 Sanjiku eventually. Also has one door with a 1/3 in Manzu.
Yeah, early game, all the door have been drawn. Advantage to Sky though for sure.
Boom.
There's our Haku call on the right for.
This cut is kind of interesting. Sky actually chooses to take all of the diamond shapes, which does have the downside that calling pawn on the door is less valuable here.
Or if you draw it, you're kind of in the same situation here. Goes ahead and plays it as 6 block. Normally you'd cut maybe 6/7 or even the 4/5. You think the Manzu are going to get squeezed.
Yeah, if you don't anticipate the Dora coming out or being drawn, then this certainly is pretty wide.
Brett goes and calls the Hatu and would like more value, but that 7-so basically says, nope, it's one Han, deal with it. Yeah, and I can tell, you can see this pause. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, also a little tricky. This cut is a little inefficient. Generally try to keep two pairs.
You want to lock in one of the pairs here. And I think realizes it now, but there goes, oh, this just deals in. Because this gets pulled, you throw the 6, you deal in.
Alright, well, Sky, with the 2 Dora, does end up winning the hand, 3,900, and just outside the lead, moving into South 3.
Brett drops to last, and so Sky here is 35-3, 600 under first place, but deal here in South 3.
Boom.
Ooh, aggressive pawn on the left from Brett. Looks like it's going to be a Chanta play with pay backup.
Yeah, I see 2 Dora across the way. That's the hand I'm definitely interested in, because that's Dora Yakuhai on Haku. On the left, though, as mentioned, the 9-so has been called. This is probably... But, of course, can't just call the pay should it come.
Right, 1, 2, 3, Sancho.
Oh, just draw the 3 bond. And, yeah, just selling out on its Sanshuku Chanta. Normally, you would cut the Hatsu there because the 1-1-2-3 can be used as just a 1-1 pair later. And there you see the North immediately passed. But can always just pair the 3-so up here, and if the last North comes out, can call it just wait on 3-pin.
Well, actually, the North was discarded first turn from Sky, so that was the last.
Oh,
North
no,
taken.
you're right. It's dead. This 3-so does nothing in the hand then.
Yeah, and even after discarding the 1 mana, I actually think I prefer calling the pay anyway and going headless.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of flexibility. Anytime you have Penchant, it's such a mess. But if you have a headless Penchant, then it's not just waiting on the 3 or 7, but also waiting on here the 1-2 to just pair it up and move on. And now you're Tempai without a Yaku because you're the wrong side.
Throws it back.
And even if you call the 3-pin, you're going to get stuck in this Furi 10.
Really hoping the 1-so comes first. Notably, though, Tyler did open up on the 4-mon, so Atosuke looking for the Haku to come out, and Sky just holding it.
Yeah, says, I don't want anything to do with this. We're going to hold it as long as possible. And maybe if we get a Tempai, then we'll jam it. But until then, there's no reason to get involved. Interesting draw there across the way. This also gives possible Itsu routes. Could go Itsu Dora 2 if the pair never develops.
And Sky is getting kind
of...
of...
And the Haku do get squeezed.
Close to Tempai, so...
Ishan 10 will be Otozuke, the 6-9. Furi 10 on that 9, though. And these 6s just don't feel like they're coming out. So we have Sky just basically shutting down every hand at the table. Although Brett says, don't worry, I'll help you out. This is a 6-9 weight, of course. We see 4 of those have been called. Should probably be the 6, or... Okay, I'd have cut the 7-8. Instead it cuts the 2 for the Ishanten shape upgrade. The problem is you still have this Furi 10 issue.
Katagiri 8-so also from Tyler kind of indicates that something was going on in those upper sos. In fact, that's where the weight is.
Yeah, that Karagiri is something that more advanced players would immediately pick up on and would never under any circumstances throw that 7. Brett makes, I think it's a very good throw just throwing the West here. I don't think you're ever getting Tempai. Oh, just draws the 6 on the right there. Wait, that broke Tempai. Could have thrown the safe 5 and been
Punk.
Tempai on 3-6.
Oh,
Okay, just conning.
okay. Things getting
And throws the
spicy.
7 anyway.
G.
And Brett says, thanks. That's what I've been looking for this whole stupid hand.
This guy says, this is my chance to call into Tempai too.
And you can even call this and
Gee.
cut the form on for Tempai. And that's going to be the play, I think. What a messy hand.
3-pin Brett's Tempai, still 3 in the wall too. Will the Sanchoku just win it? Sanchoku Chanta?
G.
Just looking for the 3-pin. Well, now everyone's Tempai, but no Yaku here for dealer.
This
You
guy
got the 6 or the 9, trying to decide which is safer.
wants to cut the 9, but 6 is Genbutsu, so it could be a Tonki in theory.
Oh, and that 9, the 8, try it. Didn't want to have to throw the more dangerous.
Oh, but the 6 for Brett, he's got to fold now. Fold or lose a Mangan. Fold, he reads it. He says, I still have Sanchoku.
And it's good to see that because I know Brett, most seasons that he's been in arm.
Sorry, you cut off a little
So
bit
he's
there, but
definitely.
you were saying Brett in most seasons tends
Brett
to be an
in
aggressive
most
side?
seasons always through that.
Yeah.
And this time holds it back and says, oh, well, I guess 3,000 isn't good, but it's better than 77/8,000.
Right. Yeah, all those 3 months ended up buried deep in the dead wall.
Sky is dealer again here in South 3. Now one Homba. Pinfu. Yuck. Let me look at this hand again. Yuck. Okay. And on the left, 3 pairs. Shapes aren't great, but there's at least some maneuverability in the hand towards maybe Chinitsu and Manzu. You could even go Chitoy. There are at least some options there. That hand across is just hideous.
Yeah, Dealer and Jackson, the 2 best hands from the first few cuts, it looks like. Dealer will probably have to remain closed, though, so needs to build this quietly. Jackson callable and has shown some patience in this game. Ishunten, though.
Perfect Ishanten there on the right. Can, of course, pull in the Hatsu and just take the Tempai as is, or could draw a whole bunch of tiles.
Yeah, with these shapes, I kind of just want to pass the first Hatsu.
Well, also, you're at 26-9, so you're looking for an excuse to at least get 3,000 out of this hand.
Maybe a while before the first Green Dragon comes out, even. Tyler has so many bad tiles to chew through before it comes out.
Yeah, Tempai ending of 6, 8, 9 Mon, 2, 5 So, or of course another Hatsu. Dealer getting closer.
Door draw. That's the second door drawn by Jackson. And
There it goes.
Tyler also will get rid of his. Ishanten for
Dealer
Sky.
Ishanten now.
The wall is trolling Jackson right now. I think you have to call
Now
this one.
it comes and may call this one, but also looking at the score, doesn't want to, but goes and takes it anyway. I imagine it's going to be deal in fairly soon, whether it be from Brett or across the way.
Yeah, it was just
Now
getting
that's a
so
nice
late.
tile. This is a very wide Ishanten for dealer now. Actually, potentially Furiton with that 2-pin.
Yeah, if you draw the 6 or 9 solo, you can choose to not take the 50-10 weight and go with the Shabo instead. Or preemptively cut the
Just
7
locks
pin.
it in now. Doesn't want this 7-pin in the hand any longer. But we have a floating 2 so there. And that just feels like it's going to come out from Tyler. And there it goes. Will just be 1,000, and we'll end up dropping him to second place, but this does get the win over there for Jackson, who will be dealer in all last at 28-2 in third place. and has a Hatsu pair, and the rest shapes aren't great. They're not terrible, but I may just call and go because you have to try in a fight with this hand. On the right, whole bunch of Mon tiles 2, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 9. So maybe an Ipeco with a 5, 6, 7, and a whole bunch of floaters, and a pair of 3-pin across the way. Speaking of Ipeco and Monzu, 1, 2, 3. Just needs one more 3 Mon. Nice shape in pin there as well. So Ricci Pin Fu Ipeco. And on the left, floating door. Well, not even a floating door. It's a penchant. It's one of those ugly penchants where the Dora is the 8 and you have the 8, 9, and the 7 is slowly dying because it's the indicator and one already got thrown by Brett. So that's a hand that is actually a lot worse than it looks. And it doesn't look particularly great anyway.
Yeah, so for the race for 1,000 points between Tyler and Sky, looks like Tyler's got the significant advantage here. Although now Tyler draws an 8-so, and that might slow his hand down as well. Yeah, with 3 hands holding Adora, and none of them with a 7-so, that means that whoever gets the 7-so has a very good chance of winning.
Well, Jackson now has a 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku, so doesn't even have to use this Hatsu. And just goes ahead and sees it, keeps the floating honors, and now we'll see. I mean, Sanshoku won't happen, but there's a lot of flexibility in this hand.
Yeah, you could end up on Dora Tonki even. Of course, you'd love to just...
Ishanten on the right. Oh, doesn't take it. Will instead try and lock in the Ipeco. Ishanten for dealer here. Could end up going to Artonki eventually. No, breaks. Definitely likes this 7, so just cutting the south there is definitely the normal play.
We've seen a couple times Jackson holding these honor tiles.
Oh, well, there's one of those 7s, so. And that is Headless Ishanten on the left for Ricci, Dora. Can't actually be Sancho. Well, I mean, this will always be a con. How have you been playing? He always cons those.
Yeah, if Sky gets Pinfu, I wonder if she will Dama Ricci.
This might be a Poland. I would probably Poland this just because Tanya is enough to get first. The problem is needs that 7, so you know it's hugely in demand.
Yeah, I think I'm on board with Boning as well. It's getting to that point where we will be pretty vulnerable after calling, but we
Ooh,
also
that's a
really
nice
want to
draw.
win.
Yeah, I like this 5-mon cut a lot. Gives you the Arianman with the 3, 4, 5, 5. So the 2 actually looks pretty good in the wall, and as it actually turns out, it's really good in the wall. And now this has a door. You go ahead door Tonki Furitan if you want. So probably not the best idea, but an option.
There is still one more west in the wall, so you could just draw that for your Senpai. Oh.
Well, you just slam it. 3 side. Good enough. Ricci. Oh, wait, no, that's not Tempai.
It's just a very wide Ishanten.
Yeah, that's a really wide Ishan.
369 Tonki draws.
This should be a Chi, and there's Tempai on the right. We've got the 4 Mona's cut waiting on 7. So there is 1 left in the wall, though.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most awkward draws for Sky is drawing the 7-so into Senpai. Oh, there it is.
Well, you asked for it.
Well, you have to be Tempai at the end of the round.
Yeah, I think you just Dama cutting the 4 or the 5. I think the 4 is 2 cuts, so you cut the 4. Oh, no, just deals in.
Yeah, I suspected there was a chance.
Doesn't like the shape, but I think that just deals in so much because it's such an in-demand tile that I don't think I could ever push it. But the win there is going to go to Tyler. Nice little 22.6 in second place, Sky with 9.3. Jackson with the minus 6.8, and our sub Brett at minus 25.1.
And that will update the stands accordingly. Tyler moving up to 5th place now. Jackson dropping out of the promotion zone currently. What we do expect there to be more promotion slots. So still holding strong at plus 98.9. And Sky moving up as well into the 50s.
Oh, okay. So there is an awkward.
Oh, I'm seeing. Yeah, unfortunate DC there.
All right. Do we want?
Yeah, let's take a look at what's happening. Looks like most of the games are already in session, so we could catch another one from this table.
Nah, I'm just not saying anything because I'm looking at the sheet myself.
Okay, your mic got muted for just a second there. Yeah, let's stick with this. Let's stick with this table. I am curious to see more from C1. We don't oftentimes get a chance to catch two from a table. The timing works out pretty well. I wonder if we have any time to look at the results from the other tables, though.
We should have some of them, but I think this is the only one that's actually finished. Because this did start half an hour before all the other games, and that.
Oh, you're right. This was the early table. So just now we've seen a couple tables get started.
And especially on weekdays, they're all generally.
Yeah, Wednesday's typically a very busy day for us.
Yeah, there will be a bunch of games tomorrow. I was thinking Friday is when everything just falls off.
Yeah. I suspect a decent amount of that has to do with the Cincinnati tournament, over the board tournament that's going to be happening over the weekend.
All right, Sky's dealer here has a whole bunch of really ugly shapes, but a two Mondora, I guess. But I look at this. Ugh. On the right, Pin Fu type hand can use some improvement. The slow shapes really nice. The 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 across the way. Tanyao, maybe Honitsu, but you have a floating door. I think you just go Tanyao with that on the left. Well, it could either be Chinitsu or it could just be Pinfu. Very dependent on what you draw.
Now, looks like probably going to be pretty slow hands here. We were already on the fourth discard, and no one really looking at a fast tempi here.
Yeah, these hands aren't great. The best one's probably Jackson there on the right, but even there, you need to connect to some of those floaters to move the hand across. The other really good hand, of course, is there on the left. Should have gone Honitsu, and I think cutting the Chun over the 8-mon was a mistake. That you're looking for an excuse to go Chinitsu or Honitsu with a hand like that, I feel. And even if you get the lose out on Pinfu, you haven't lost that much, honestly.
Yeah, and sometimes you just drop the West instead of the Chun just for a chance to draw Yakuhai. I wonder if this was an intentional play to hold a Pinshu pair and to prevent someone else from opening their hand with a Yakuhai.
Oh, it almost certainly was a play for Pinfu. And there goes the 8-mon. Figures, well, the shapes aren't there. And if I end up on a Tonk, I want to be on one of these two anyway.
I still Itsu a good plan for Tyler.
Oh, well, Navy and Arianman. I definitely cut the east or the west here.
Oh,
Throws the 4 back.
if the plan is an honor Tonki, West is twice cut, East is twice cut as well.
Twice cut. Yeah, it's bad either way.
I think I'd prefer holding out for the slightly better Pinshu odds.
Sky gets a tile, just stares at it for a while, eventually throws Dora. I just pawned that. I'd say if I'm Brad, that's an easy pawn. Just get our Tanya to our 3. The 9 still doesn't really fit in the hand anyway, so it's fine. Oh, and there's our punish there on the left with 3-mon draw for Tyler.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Call the Dora and Fighter Yaku later. In this case, the Yaku's
You already
relative
have the Yaku.
apparent with the
That's the thing. You
Tanya.
don't have to think. And I'm a huge advocate. If you've watched my broadcast, I'm a huge advocate of I don't like having to think. That way you don't tend to shoot yourself in the foot with your discards. If you don't give yourself a chance to mess up, you generally don't.
We
We
have
have a Chitoy Ishanten across the way now.
yeah. Oh well, I guess you're right. Brett actually somehow backed into Chitoy. I was thinking there's Ishanten on the right for Jackson as well. This is a slightly better Ishanten. Chooses to go with the potential Entotsu final weight, and gives up
There's
the
our pawn on
Sadako
the right for
chance.
Tempai waiting on 3-6, and it just feels like Brett's going to throw that 3 if he gets Tempai.
Ooh, con chance. Oh, that's not a con. That's only Nako. Ishanten for Sky.
Oh, well, that fits into this hand. You're not really thrilled by it. It's not like the 7-so does anything. It's fine. Throw the 7-so.
Yeah,
Throws the 1. Once it turns into Tanyao.
G.
This is a really inefficient play, though.
this guy says, with 13 tiles on the wall, I just want to be Tempai.
I'll just
but...
take my K10. Oh, just Sumo. As we say in every broadcast, the game is much easier when you just draw your tiles.
Yeah, relatively inexpensive hand to start this game off.
But shuts down some of the big hand, especially Brett with that 2 Dora. And will be dealer here is Jackson with a potential Riichi Pinfu Tanyao, maybe a 2-3-4 Sanshoku. I know your personal favorite.
Absolutely. It will be a little tricky to get there because the Tuso's acting as the pair right now, but really any tile could be your pair, right?
Yeah, that's just it. The 6-mon can pair up. Well, okay, now it seems a lot more likely. You can pair up the 8-so and then have a 2-2-4-6-8-8. And you can make it work there. On the right, though, that's also an amazing hand. Oh my goodness, that's Ishunten for Riichi, Pinfu, Tanyao, Ipeiko, Sanshoku, Dora. If you get that 6-so. Across the way, Pinfu Taipan needs the 7-so badly. On the left, trying to turn this into Honitsu, but the tiles aren't really going there yet.
Ooh, interesting question. How greedy does Brett get? I mean, efficiency says you can cut
Yeah,
the
this is a
5-7,
pure
so...
greed question. The normal cut is just the 5-7 and so. And yeah, he says it's fine. This
Yeah,
does lose Sanshoku. This does lose Ipeiko. I guess there are routes to Sanshoku, but they're difficult. You need the 4-so probably first.
yeah, I was going to ask you, if the 6-so had come out from Jackson, say here, and you still have that shape, would you chi for the Tanya Dora
Reach.
Sanshoku?
No. No. But Tanyao, Sanshoku, no. I want a lot more. And even here, this is the same value. Riichi Pinfu, Dora. And this is the worst possible hand shape this hand could have gotten to, having drawn the 9.
Right. Misses out on the
If you'd have drawn the
Tanyao.
6-mon and second Dora for Riichi Pinfu, Tanyao, Dora 2, and Sumo, that's Hanemon right there.
There are enough upgrade tiles with this shape that you could, in theory, Dama. But I assume you would not even think about that.
No. just no.
We are waiting for 4-7 pin. The 7 pin has only 1 in the wall. The 4 pin has 2.
Oh, see, I told you the hand wanted to be 2-3-4 Sanshoku. You didn't believe me.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I am totally on board with 2-3-4 Sanshoku.
Meanwhile, we have a Chinitsu building there on the left, starting to get very scary. Needs the 3-mon badly, though.
Yeah, 3-mon will be Tempai.
3-mon would be an amazing Tempai.
Oh, but the 4
Oh,
pin is
that's
drawn.
not it, though. And that feels bad, so I think you throw the live Haku. Instead, we'll throw the 4-pin and deal into Riichi Pin Food R1. See if there are any Aura to kick it to Mongon, and there.
Yeah, Brett does pull a Mongon. Okay, this time the Mongon hands are coming together.
And Brett's going to be dealer here with, Kanchan everywhere. 2 Penchans, like, ugh. The shapes aren't fun, I guess is how I describe this hand. Kanchan's everywhere. You now have an Itsu upgrade, which even that, you need the 3-6-7 for Itsu, so even that's not particularly reliable. On the right, Hatsu pair, floating Shaw, Dora. The rest shapes aren't great, but like I'm just calling anything. Across the way, maybe Tanya if you cut the 9-mon pair, but similarly, I don't really know what the plan here is, and I don't like that 6-mon cut at all. I'm just looking at the rest of his hand shape. I just want to cut 1 pin, maybe even the Dora over this. But here go the cheese. It's going to be Brett going for Itsu, and on the left we have Jackson going for Hatsu. The problem is that Hatsu is Mochi Mochi, as we see them locked up on the left and the right. So that's going to be very difficult. There is another route with an Itsu, but it's probably not the hand you're thinking of when you make that call.
Right. And for Brett, my instinct was to look at the Pinzu for the Itsu. Of course, it's in the Manzu where he's going to likely end up with that full straight. And Ishanten. 6 mon, 7 mon necessary to complete this hand, but Jackson can't really use either tile. I guess
I mean,
sort of.
he can kind of try at this point, but I just don't like any of these shapes.
Now, the problem is Jackson needs to call a triplet of the green dragon and have a Tonki somewhere. And
No, this should be
usually,
the 5. This is technically a Tenpai without a Yaku, but I think it's better just as a flexible shape.
yeah, this way, if no matter what tile you pair up, you'll either be Tempai or you'll have a good shape.
And see, this is one where I kind of wonder if you cut the 6-pin and just trying to work outside. There is. Ooh, you could cut 8-9. I would cut 8-9.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
bad.
going to be the play here.
Still gonna be
Because we just
Tempai.
know the Hatsu's just dead. And you can't know that, but you should start suspecting it around now. Well, Brett is now Tenpai waiting on 7-mon. There are 2 of those left, both in the wall.
So I'm gonna tell that no one can use.
At the same time, I've been in a situation with this awkward call for Jackson, and I'm seeing Brett doing this. Like, Brett 100% has Hatsu. There's no way this stupid 7-mon deals in.
4
And it's just Shinitsu. Oh my god, it's Shinitsu. Oh, never mind.
Itsunomi?
I
Okay,
have been
that's
in that
acceptable.
seat many times. It's not fun, especially when that roan button comes up.
Yeah, that's mostly happens to me
Also,
when I
did
play
the
against
stream
Garrett.
die?
Did it?
Oh, must just die temporarily on my end. It's back.
Oh, good. Yeah, Brett
All
retains the
right,
dealership.
Brett Dealer here.
Nice high
Yeah,
pile.
nice little taunt. Yeah,
Boom.
Tanyao, maybe even Dora 2, 234 Sanshku here as well, potentially. Ooh,
Ooh.
well, it's definitely feeling that 234 Sanshku, but you would move back a step in this hand. On the right, few pairs, feels like it's probably going to be Chitoy, although it may just be Ricci, possibly Sun Anko with the right draws. Across the way, 1, 2, 4, 6 where Forso's Dora, not great. Potential Itsu. Okay, that 9-mon makes the hand a lot clearer. Just Itsu, and on the left, Haku's been called. Might be Honitsu, also the Dora. Great shapes in So. With a 4 or 5, they just convince you to go for the quick 2000.
Yeah, he's shown 10 right now for Jackson, which is unfortunate for Brett because he's really excited about this hand. In fact, just drops away from the 1-pin ahead of time, holding the West. Might drop the
Well, there you
West back.
go. That's that's your Sanshku. That's how this hand finished. It will have Sanshku unless there's some shifting done. The 5-so does nothing in this hand now. It is basically being held on as a way to get rid of one of our other shapes.
Right. The only way it really gets used is if we draw something like the 6-so, which would convince Brett to go for the
And cut the
contract
4-6 pin.
Ooh,
Oh,
hello.
that's the big tile.
Oh,
No,
oh
no,
no.
Brett, what are you doing? No,
Brett,
no, it's just 6-pin.
Brett's planning to
Gee.
pair up 2-so, 5-so, or 6-pin and go for it all. Go for the like Ipeco type hand, but
And you know
Boom.
what? If you got rid of that 6-pin when you were supposed to, this wouldn't have happened.
instead it'll be Jackson pulling in the 2,000 points and sending us to East
Well,
4.
I'm going to say that's a bit of a deserved deal. And Brett's going to look at that back at the log, go, oh, oops. Well, dealer here is Tyler and Ishunten for potential Ricci, Pinfu, Itsu. On the right, Pinfu Taipan desperately needs the 2-pin and maybe the 7-pin. I guess there's some routes towards Itsu in pin, but unlikely. Across the way, Pinfu, nothing fancy there. And on the left, few
Eats.
pairs, feels kind of Pinfu as well. Ooh, well, there's a nice little Shampoo and Ricci. Oh, this may be Ipatsu. Nope. Correctly throws the safe 1 rather than getting greedy and throwing the east, because that is Ricci double east.
Yeah, Sky in trouble though. 9-pin also safe.
Yeah, the 9 is safe, but I feel like eventually Sky's going to deal into this.
Right, especially because these shapes are good enough that
Good enough to convince you to get yourself into trouble.
right, and it's going to be an
I hate shapes like these because it's good enough to go.
77 minimum.
and cannot sumo the Formon, as that is in the other hands. There is one East left, though, in the wall.
Pom.
Ooh, 3-pin Pon means that Sky could conceivably shove the 4, so.
May even
Or
chi this
chi this
and
and
take the
deal in.
Kutsuki Ishanten and deal in.
Chi.
Still dodges.
Throws the 5 first. We'll go ahead and wait on this 4 so. But this floating 4 is really useless with the 3 having been pulled. I don't like that one. If you're going to push, I think you push the 4. I take it. If you're going to push, you push the East, of course.
Right. Well, 4's so
We all
relatively
know. We
safe
always
here.
know that deal's in here, and it's going to be pulled probably in a deal in. No, passes. Good restraint there.
Yeah, Sky might just be playing this for K10 essentially, saying, I'm going to not drop the C's until someone clears it first. I will
6-pin
Mawashi
is
8
safe.
8,
It did come out.
8-pin cuts if I have to.
And Brett's in here going, just give me a Dora. I'm not picky. Just give me a Dora.
The longer this goes, the more you're wondering about why the East doesn't show up.
Chi.
A lot of the times what's happened is someone has 2, but it's not dealer. And they just don't want to cut from the pair because they had safe-ish tile. In this situation, that'd be Brett. A lot of the time, Brett here would have a pair of East.
Sumo.
But instead, just Sumo, and Sky's going to look at it and go, I am so glad I didn't shove that. But there's going to be a dealer Mongon. The aura doesn't matter. But a nice little pickup there for Tyler. Over 40,000 now. Draws the last East out of the wall.
Yeah, in both of these games, it's been notable how Tyler has just kind of hung around, won a couple hands here and there, and ended up pulling away the first place in the last game. And this game as well, hangs around, doesn't deal into anything, and now pulls in a dealer Mongon's looking good to take a first place.
And has a decent hand here. Not a good one, though. Floating Dora. Shapes are okay. 5 so would really help. Another 1 Mon would help. On the right, Richie Pinfu, Tanyao, probably Dora later, given a 3 and a 6 for the 4 of Dora across the way. Those are some ugly shapes. Kanchan's everywhere. You do have a Dora, but that's about all. And on the left, we have a Haku pair, and trying to go Honitsu with this. But you can't really do that with that 1 Soanko, so it may just be a call and go. We'll hold the 3-5 in anticipation if the 4 is drawn, then the hand becomes a lot easier to play.
Yeah, and then even then, Brett will have a choice. Do I drop the Haku pair, or do I drop a Jiamen? Or even just 5-pin?
You cut the 2-pin. I like hedging both in that situation. Well,
yeah,
now you just
I
cut the
do too.
3-5.
It's a shame this hand can't be Honitsu or something a little more value.
Well, I mean, it could still turn into Itsu. Especially if you draw 1 pin. Or here you could draw 4 pin and this Ipeiko. But there's only one of those in the wall, so unlikely.
Tyler back to Ishanten in the start of the second row.
Nice fill there by Sky on the left.
Also Ishanten.
Ishanten needs 3 so and 7 so.
Chi.
And
Across the way,
hands.
Jack to think about calling. Goes ahead and takes it. We'll just go in for Tanya. Has that floating Dora. Oh, well, there's Senpai. It is just Richinomi waiting on 6-9. Would be some extra foo here.
1-1-1. Oh, Ipatsu.
Oh, just Ipatsumo. Riichi Patsumo. No, Ura does get the extra foo as mentioned from the uncle of 1 so and 5 pin. And Brett is now just a little bit behind first place. Sky's dealer here has a floating door and not great shapes. Probably Pinfu hand, nothing fancy on the right. A couple good shapes and a whole bunch of trash. Across the way, great shapes with that. Once you get that 7 pin, the hand is a lot better looking than it was a second ago. Maybe even 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9 Sanshoku. Maybe even Chinitsu with that draw. On the left, though, probably the best hand. Needs the 3 so badly, though, for Richie Pinfu, maybe Tan Yao.
Yeah, one thing I noticed watching Sky's hand as the high pie was drawn in The amount of time it took for the first discard, because you know this game hasn't been going amazing for you. You dealt into that kind of surprise Mongon, and now you're sitting here in last place. You get to your last dealership because you were the original E seat, and you say, okay, this is where I need to make something happen. You open your high pie and you get garbage. The question is, do you just autopilot an honor tile and say, give me something better? I think it's really notable to sit, look, analyze, plan as best you can. Like, come up with any strategy for the early high pie, and maybe give a few seconds to reel back and discuss as your tiles are revealed. But Sky does have a plan
And
now. It looks like Tanya.
And you may see that especially in other divisions where you look at the hand and go, wait, what's the plan? And then you think about it for that first turn. Just take your time, figure out what you're doing. But we do see a pulling across the way. That 4-pin for Brett. He'd love to go Chinitsu, but may end up going Tanya. The 4-pin did kind of fit in the hand as was, but just didn't see any value in it, just going for it. And on the left, though, very close. As he Shunten. I think that's Tempai. There it is. Ricci Pinfu waiting on 3-6-0. The 6-0 are pretty held in hands. One of those and 2 3-0, so only 3 left. And Brett's just going to have to go Tanya now. The problem is you've pulled the 4, so it's going to be very difficult to do anything with this.
Despite that awful start, Sky manages to be able to
Oh,
call
this could be a
Tempai
chi
here.
into deal in.
It feels like it should be. Well, could cut Tuso instead and hedge, but I think this is the normal
I
play.
think you're dealer. I don't have a problem with this play. You need to win this hand.
Yeah, just when the hand was
And you know
actually
you're
starting
behind.
to come together, there was a Ricci.
And that just calls for Tanya and deals in. And now we have Jackson dealer here in South 2. Pinfu, maybe a Tanya in here. 6-0 would be an amazing draw on the right. Nice little Peiko and Mon developing. 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. A few pairs elsewhere could always be Chitoy. Cross the way. I know you really want to go Junshan with that, but you need to draw the 1 so you're rid of that 4. If you do that, then the hand's all of a sudden amazing. Could even go Chanta, Dora 3. Maybe some more stuff in there. That's a hand that's so close to being good and yet so ugly. And on the left, maybe just call Chun and go. But it's dead, so this may just be Chitoy now. In fact, I don't see any other real path for it. No, just cuts the Chun. Wants to go to Richie Pinfu Tanya, maybe. I know. I think I just cut the 1 Mon and just see what happens with that hand. I don't think you have to force anything yet.
Yeah, I guess Chun is dead, so
Yeah, that's why that's the hand that's so bad, I at least keep Chitoy as an option.
I see.
Of course, the meme is always shortcut to Hanemon, and this is the type of situation where you look in and go, there is a chance for this to be Mongon or Hanemon on Chitoy. And that's about the
Yeah, now having drawn the pin shape, maybe we can dream
right.
about
Now you can start thinking of
1 mon not likely to fit in either case. Okay, 3, 4, 5.
well, now you just cut the 1. And yeah, again, see, now the 1 should have come out a while ago, but there it goes. Dealer also in a very nice Ishunten for Ricci Tanya. Well, that's not the draw you expect.
It is.
What do you cut? 8 Mon? The 3-pin is kind of dead, so maybe 2-pin.
Yeah.
The most efficient cut is 8 Mon, but you don't really want to be in this 3-pin shape.
Yeah, I think I actually do like cutting the pins for that reason. We'll just slam the Ricci on the 3-pin.
And this may be one where you check, you do it and then go, uh-oh. I thought I was on a Sozu wait. You see the long hesitation. And of course, that 1-so we're still in his hand, this would be an amazing hand for Ricci possible Itsu on the 9-so, although there's only one of those left. Instead, 3-pin, there is 1 left in the wall.
Although Hellweight 9-so for
well,
Itsu
there's
Takame.
Tempai across the way. I imagine you just chase. Could even Dama, but I don't know that Dama does much. I guess it saves you a stick.
That stick might be relevant here, given how close the situation is between Tyler and Brad.
But I think you just don't have upgrades, and you're
7-pin is actually all in the wall.
Oh no, but they could end up dealing here on the 3 pin now that it's Suji. It's like, who would be waiting on the 3 with 2 of them having been cut?
First 7 draw, not really safe, but Sky. Oh, yeah, the go
Don't.
with the 3.
Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. Ricci Tanyao. No Oros, it does hurt, but it could have been a lot worse. And that's going to get Jackson over 30k. Unfortunately for these guys, that means now 3 people 30k or above. And Jackson has another dealer turn here. Draws a door. It doesn't really connect to the rest of his hand, but the rest of the hand's pretty good. Ricci, Pinfu, maybe Dora pair instead. Also a distant 4-5-6 Sanshku. On the right, Pinfu type hand. Also a nice starting hand. Decent shapes over. Completed 4-5-6 and 3-4-5. Across the way, Pinfu looking for that 1-2-3 Sanshku. And on the left, kind of a Pinfu hand, maybe even a Junchun with those shapes.
And probably anything that can use those Dora, even if it ends up being Dora Tonki for Sky. Just fighting for a little extra value, especially now that your Junchan has kind of disappeared with the 5-6 Diamond draw in the Pinzu.
Yeah, I gotta try and play normally and see what happens. I just don't really see any value unless you pair up the Dora now, which may even just be the play. Goes and cuts from the 1-2-2 shape. Maybe hedging 4-5-6 Sanshku. That's about the only thing I can think of. See, there's your 9, so it was Junchan.
Perhaps.
And dealer says, okay, we're getting rid of Dora right now. Hand's too good.
Yeah, that hand is starting to come together quite well. And not followed by anyone, so Sky can choose to keep it and hope of pairing it
And
up.
instantly punished. Ishan 10 across the way would likely be Richinomi if the 8 so is drawn Richi Pinfu. But normally that is about the time you'd cut it. I just look at these shapes and I just thought 9 pin would be a little better discard here.
To take the Ishanten or to push for Tanya, ends up taking the Ishanten with a 6-0 cut.
Oh no. Oh, Jackson, you're gonna look at the log and be very sad. I'm pretty sure you're sad right now because this could be Jambon Chun 4 pin.
Yeah, even if this ends up being like Ricci, Pinfui, Peiko, Tanya, that's still pretty good.
Nine it does. Oh, well, now you just Ricci this. Okay, got there. The problem is the hand's so bad, and there's a Dama across the way for the Pinfu. Sees how bad the 5-8 was and just throws the 7 in to take the better shape, but deals in and falls under 30k as a result.
And so we will go into South 3. Brett has a little bit more work to do to catch up to Tyler now.
Yeah, but Brett has the type of hand you're looking for, especially if you draw 3 so you could probably just call this down for Tanya Dora 1. You have pairs all over the place, but a Dora, good shapes overall. Callable 2 pin, 8 pin pair. On the right, Anko is 7-1, but there's just not really much there. It just looks like it would be Rishinomi most likely. Across the way, Hatsu pair. Couple, actually, how many pairs is that? 1, 2, 3, and an Anko. So maybe just even hedge Suanko. I mean, that'd be one way to get back in this game. On the left, probably just a Pinfu, nothing fancy here. Not really much value, but your goal here is mainly to get back over 30k going at all last.
And naturally, Sky passing the call of the first Hatsu, aiming to build something a little more value than Hatsu Toy Toy.
If you thought you could get Hatsu to a toy, I think you just call anyway, but I don't know that you want that. And here it could even be Sananko Hatsu Dora 1 potentially. There are several ways that hand could develop.
In the meantime, Brett was looking at a
Brett
Tanya.
has a choice, could call for Tanya, will do so. Calls the 8 pin.
All the
Now
Dora.
you have to just go. I think you have to take that one.
Yeah, if you don't take this, Cheat Toy is probably your best value route.
9-mon feels like the cut here. Yeah, that way you can still accept Dora. And if you had it going toy, it's like, sure, whatever. That's also worth remembering that you want to try and keep Jackson under 30K.
Yeah, even winning a
Kind of an
hand here.
inefficient cut there for Brett. Doesn't really want this extra floating shape around Dora, and could end up just going Toy Toy now. Toy Toy Tanya, not what you expect when you have a 5-6 and 6 is Dora.
Yeah, almost not what you're hoping for.
Should probably just be the 7 Mon. There it goes. Well, there's your Dora. I imagine it doesn't come out just because that hand is so bad it's not really worth
Boom.
playing. That's an easy pull. Oh, no. Wait, no, I misread that. Yeah, that's correct. That was a 4-5-5 for some reason. Yeah, that's definitely. Oh, con. You definitely
Con.
won here. There's the con, no reward, but you get some extra foo out of it, I guess.
Benefits
Doesn't make any actual difference.
Jackson quite a bit, though. 2 Dora in hand now. It looks like Tyler's incentivized to just fold out here.
Boom.
Right.
Yeah, that seems perfectly fine.
There are Toy Toy draws for Sky here. Are there? There's 1-4
You
on the
know what would
wall.
be hilarious is if they both ended on Champon 5 Mon 4 so. Because that could definitely happen here.
Yeah, unfortunately, the final 5 Mon is the Dora indicator. That
So
would be
that's the problem
hilarious.
here. Just have them look another way. Just swipe it.
Oh, you thought Dora was 6 Mon. Actually, it's a 9 so.
Well, there's the 3, and I think you pass this. I would pass this win.
Yeah,
Boom.
Sky's thinking just end up taking it.
Thanks. Go ahead and takes it. Take the 1300. This does help you keep Jackson under 30K, which would be the reason not to take it.
I think if it was a little closer to the end of the hand, Sky definitely would have passed. But with 12 tiles and Brett 2 calls in to a dealer, Tanya probably said it wasn't worth the risk.
All right. Well, we are now in all last. In first place here is Tyler with an amazing starting end here. Chi-Toy, could even just go Toy Toy, even Honitsu. Toy Toy, Honitsu, Tone, Chun, Hanemon, dealer Hanemon in all last.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Generally, yeah.
Sky looking for something on the right, but another high pie that just does not look like it's
Yeah,
doable.
that hand's going nowhere slowly. I like the four so cut. I don't like the first 2 cuts though, because again, I think the only real route that hand had to value is Chanta / Junchan. Across the way though, that's just a call to try and be done with this hand, get back over 30,000. Perfectly understandable where Jackson is right now. Now that 3 pin doesn't help, but I mean you'll take it. Mildly surprised the 6 wasn't palmed. Of course, I'm a well-known advocate for Dorotanki. Should the hand get there. Dealer now Ishan 10.
Yes. Shun still held by Sky here, making a Honitsu Chi-Toy perhaps? Chanta Dabunan?
Decides not to cheese, so definitely looking for value here. Oh, and that's just a hard sellout for Chinitsu Tanyao across the way, cutting from the 6-6 shape.
Jackson's
Well,
not...
I guess not Tanyao anymore.
Jackson's not just going for
But
second.
Sumo would be first. Still Ishanten, though. We'll need a 4 so and a 7 so. And dealers just temp by for Mongon on 4-7. Oh no. Okay, doesn't deal in yet. But that last 7 pin feels very loose in that hand.
Yeah, this is pretty clear Honitsu signs from Tyler, so...
And Brett says, we'll push the half Suji anyway.
Although Brett's hand in shambles because all the 2-pins are gone.
Okay, well, I think Sky is just shoving at this point. So if Tempai is reached, the 7-pin will come out. But may get bailed out with this, could call cut 9-pin.
ポン
Yeah, 9-pin is Suji. And once cut, so slightly safer perhaps than the 8. I guess 8's also Suji, and you have 2 of them.
Yeah, they're both